Hello and good day to all of you guys who are going to watch this video. Nicholas from Serbia here. I'm a proud member of ChaletOS Linux community on the Google Plus channel. Today I want to talk to you a little bit more about this ChaletOS in general, the Ubuntu based distributions, right? ChaletOS is based on Ubuntu 14.04, long-term supported until the April 2019, right? So we're gonna have a long-term support. That's good. As you all know, who was following a little bit of a ChaletOS presentations since the distro started, developing, it's based on Ubuntu with a XFC desktop with a lot of goodies added to it, so the desktop looks really nice. As I said before in my videos, the distro is really fast, it's flowing, you don't get glitches. If you do a proper installation, let's begin like this. If you do a proper installation, after the installation, the first initial boot up, if you give it space to do the automatic update and then later reboot again, then install your graphics drivers if they are not already okay for you. For example, I have an nvidia GT210 graphics cards on a PCI Express slot. Nothing much, but I really like the way the proprietary drivers are cooperating with my card. I don't like the Novu driver that's provided by the community. I'm sorry, but I don't like the Novu driver. I like the proprietary driver and the speed that I get with actually the 3D acceleration and everything. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about that. All of you guys who have nvidia graphics cards, doesn't matter which version, I think that 99% of the cards on the market today are already supported by the official nvidia driver on Ubuntu. I wanted to give a word up because we had a question about how to enable the HDMI support on the nvidia graphics cards. Now, the first thing you want to do after you do initial install and the first reboot, when the system boots up for the first time, you need to do an automatic update. Now, the automatic update starts from this tool. It's called the software updater, right? So either you're gonna click on it and start it for yourself, or you're gonna do a little bit of a surfing, whatever you do when the system boots up, or setting up your visuals. Eventually it's gonna look for an update. It's gonna pop up by itself, and then you're gonna let it download updates. It's gonna ask for your sudo password, your current user password. It's gonna give the sudo rights to the program, and it's going to continue to update. When it finishes, it's going to install a lot of stuff that's been improved, a lot of new stuffs for security breaches, for making the hardware working better and better, and in general the stability of the system, right? You need to trust Linux updates. They are much different than the Windows updates. To get down to the point, after you finish all of that stuff, you're going to install the graphics drivers, right? My recommendation is to install the graphics drivers that are located in the system repositories themselves, right? So let's click on this, software and updates. In this application, you see all the settings related to your softwares and updates, repositories, which one has been checked and which one hasn't, blah 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 blah. And the last tab, you have the additional drivers. Now, if you click on this one, it's gonna stay on the screen a little bit. It's gonna say searching for available drivers. Doesn't matter which kind of graphics card you have. For example, you see me, I have a GeForce 210 with the chip GT218, right? So it gave me an option to install NVIDIA binary version 340.96 from NVIDIA 340 proprietary tested. This is the most important part, that you install this. When you click apply, you're gonna wait for it to download the driver and set it up for you, and then you need to reboot again. After the first reboot, after the installation of the drivers actually, you can open up a terminal window or a command line window, however you want to call it, and then you're going to type in this sudo su, press enter. It's going to ask for the password. You type in your password, you press enter. Now you are in a terminal window, a root user. If you have NVIDIA drivers, today we're talking about NVIDIA, you're going to call up the NVIDIA settings manager by typing in NVIDIA dash or slash, whatever you call this, settings. Hit enter. It's going to pop up a bunch of text. Wait a little bit and voila, there we go. Now you have the NVIDIA settings manager here. The same thing I think goes, or similar thing goes for the AMD ATI graphics cards, right? They have also some kind of settings manager for the graphics. The best thing you can do now, after you have the drivers properly installed, you can go option by option to set up whatever you want. For me, for example, the best resolution that I could get on this monitor with the size and the shape and the weird thing about my monitor is the branding, right? So actually it's some kind of Chinese weird stuff. So anyways, I set up the resolution that I like because it's big, for example. For me this is nice. And the best thing I did after this was save it to X configuration file. And I ticked off this option, merge with the existing file. I said save. And basically what it does, saves the X configuration file as a root user, and on the next boot up it's going to keep your settings and it's going to always be the same. Whatever you set up here as a root user, it's going to be always there. And then later I set up a little bit of stuff, you know, like this. For example, I wanted the OpenGL to perform at high quality. You can see the information about your graphics card, the decoders, OpenGL information, anti-aliasing settings, which is nice. You can set up the graphics card to override the application settings and you can use your own settings, right? All the stuff that you can set up, you go piece by piece. That's my advice. Now, as for HDMI support, if you have what I noticed, if you have an HDMI video output, it's gonna be enabled by default with the Nobu driver or with the proprietary binary driver from NVIDIA. So anyways, all that is up to you after the installation is just to do some additional setup of your resolution and everything else, just a tiny makeup things, you know. So that's it. I hope this video is gonna help you guys just a little bit to set up your graphics cards and your drivers, so you can start, you know, your own thing with Ubuntu based distributions or ChaletOS. Ciao ciao guys.